Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Flickering Torch. You'll notice it's four of us. We might be joined by a fifth, but it's kind of up in the air at the minute, so we've got this fun stream overlay. I am Ben of the Flickering Torch, and I will introduce... Oh, the game we're playing is Blades in the Dark, which we subtitle Red Herrings. This is week 4, right? Four? Yeah. Week 4. This is week 4, and I will go around and introduce you to everyone. So we will start with the man on my left, but I think it's on the streams. No, it's on the streams left. Addison, please introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Addison. I'm from the Pod of Many Things, and I'm just enjoying watching Ben unravel here because it's nice watching him go down this plug hole of despair. However, in this game, I play Orlan Welker.
Panic!
He's unraveling
Panic
before our
over
very
there.
eyes.
Oh god, it's happening again. Why does this always happen to me?
Better late than never, James.
He's
Hi,
handling
Tech
the
Pickle.
pressure very well.
Just cause another issue and turn
Oh,
that
it's
on.
moving again.
It's fine. I've put panic on. This is where we have the panic overlay. Right, now I'm going to see if I can change scene collection to try and get the actual thing back. So we might cut off for a second here, everyone watching.
Then, if you want, then I will resume the duties of introduction, if you will, while you fix the stream.
Wait, no, I think that's it. I think
Yeah, apologies for the late arrival, viewers.
Then,
I think the only person who can apologise here is me, because I'm having a heart attack right now. There's so much stress that goes
Don't worry, let's
into
keep
making
going.
this work.
So, my name's
I
Addison.
apologise, it's work.
Excellent. Yes, the stream overlay now works. Ha ha ha! I have bested you, OBS. Right, Addison, please, now Addison downstairs from me. Please introduce yourself.
So, apart from my favourite hobbies include watching Ben unravel, perfecting a Russian accent, and playing Orlan Welker, the Scotland cutter full of red herrings. If you want it punching in the face, he's your guy. He is your man. Like, I'll get back into the accent once we've practiced.
Have you just introduced your character again and not just yourself?
then,
I'm sure that's what we did on the other stream. I could be wrong.
I can't remember what we did last week, if I'm honest with you.
No, I meant Night's Black.
we are so organised and good at this.
Right, tonight is
You're
just...
still watching after 4 weeks of us fumbling around.
Would you like to start
thanks,
again?
Thanks for hanging
Would
in
that make
there.
life easier?
We've got an amazing IT specialist. If you want to hire his services for your company,
No,
it's
you
going
don't.
downhill. Please do.
Right, so I guess, Sean, now you can introduce yourself to the wonderful people at home.
Hello, everybody. I'm Outsider 68, Sean Connors. I'm playing Baron Silas Greenback for Jordan. Obviously, professionally trying my best to hang in there against the mediocrity of this IT effort. And now I've wound up my leader. I'll hand it over. Very
Our late interloper, James, please introduce yourself to the people.
I'm James. No. I currently play Giscard. Look,
Is that
come
it?
on.
Okay.
That's brilliant.
Sorry.
I love that.
I was expecting kind of a little more from you, if I'm honest.
I
Hi,
hide
I'm
on the
James.
internet. You can find me on the loom. That's
There you
Hi,
go.
that's about it.
No, that's the thing that you
It's
say at
been
the
a
end of the
busy
show.
day.
That's
It's been a busy day. I'm sat in Belfast eating chips. So, yes. You can excuse me for the light brief.
You can find him on Tinder. Don't know if that helps. Thank you.
We are so good at this.
Yeah, good luck. I'm not on Tinder either.
Jordan, please introduce yourself.
Yes, hello everybody. My name's Jordan, also known as Uninformed RPG, and I am the GM of this wonderful game that we play on a Monday night, and it's normally much smoother than this, I promise. So, without
Oh, yes,
further
the
ado,
technical train wreck.
Ben, stick your hat on and tell us who you are.
Hi, guys. I'm Aldrich Brooker, and I'm the leader of this merry band of scoundrels. I try to be charismatic, but I fail every single one of my goddamn roles. So I will continue to do so.
Damn charismatic. Damn.
So, thank you everybody, and again, welcome to you all to Blades in the Dark Red Herrings, our Monday night stream game. So, brief recap from somebody. Where did we end it last week? What was the brief? Sean, I'll ask you. What kind of happened in our last?
We had emerged from the underground tunnels near the city's morgue area with the treasure, with the booty that we'd set off to get these spirit items, where we were ambushed by a group of people, and our fearless leader come up with a very cunning plan, actually, directly parlay with them, and then basically tried to kill them stone dead. My favourite bit of it, actually, was the bit where he had managed to wrap a rope around their leader's neck and was trying to strangle him. And later in the game, I managed to work out that maritime law does not actually permit you to worry about these things because technically you can moor your boat to anything. So he wasn't actually guilty of murder. It's just a coincidence.
Gotta love
And then
maritime.
and then we
love
left
some
it
maritime
with,
law.
after what was very successfully, we managed to get out of a serious hole, actually, after very successfully. A lot of stress, actually, with that. A lot of us were really feeling it at that point. We left the game where we had done some work on some new we have to go off out of city at this point to go and try and retrieve an item for... I can't quite remember the exact... It wasn't really for your father, but it was like a associate spirit creature of your father who
Do you
wanted
mean
help.
Mr. Morland Morrison?
That's the one.
Morriston.
So, and we had all done collective research around the area outside the city. Myself, I'd focused on... We were going... Obviously, we've got to retrieve those items, but I focused on nearby houses that might yield us a nice payoff if we go and visit them, maybe. Was kind of the angle I'd gone down. But everybody had done a lot of good work. I noticed last time how well our Russian friend is, actually. How good he is at hitting things. In fact, hitting them, shooting them, blank distance. He's damn good. And I criticised, wrongly actually, his technique for how can one put this interrogation. And frankly, if a gun in someone's face gets the information, who am I to argue with his genius? The man's a genius.
Very good. So yes, we left last week when you were just about to head off for this endeavour out into the Deathlands. We met up with a group from the Deathlands Scavengers, who are the only faction in the city who
How did
tend
you
to have both the license and the balls to operate in such an area.
tell us a bit more about how you got this information, leader? I mean, I never want to criticise your, besmirch your wonderful abilities, but you are a man of many talents. How did you get contact with these people?
Well, got a lot of old flames in the city, and one of them happens to be the scariest Deathland scavenger you will ever meet. But
He's been walking with limp since he left. I am not sure if something went wrong. Did you hurt yourself?
Or something went right?
my pride is mostly hurt, if I'm honest with you. My pride. Jordan, just to clarify, we haven't done our engagement roll or anything yet, right?
Yeah, funny that you mentioned that, Aldrich, because how we start off scores in Blades is we make an engagement roll. We basically roll to see how much of a controlled situation everybody is in, or the scale ranges from controlled to desperate. And we're gonna start this off in a bit of a desperate situation, guys.
Oh yeah, because we did roll for that and got possibly the worst roll we could possibly get.
No, I think I've forgotten.
I can't remember.
But anyway, so
just clarify, you call that limp your pride?
Yeah. We'll go with that, mate. We'll go with that because the other story is far more embarrassing.
Is your pride that big? You've got to tuck it into your socks, eh?
Big pride. He's got a lot of pride down there, I tell you. He's always said he kept his pride under wraps. I'm not surprised.
Can't ever wear shorts.
No.
You see a pretty lady, you kick her in the face.
He's literally a knock first. He's got a lot of pride.
Victorian era London. No one wears shorts.
cool.
It would make good tripod on the long-range rifle.
Can we go steal something instead of talking about my pride, please?
Pride
Please,
before.
for the love of God.
That's why he's always falling over, because he's got a pride.
Anyway.
So we're on the job, right?
We will begin our score within Gaddock Rail Station. You have, on the advice of Aldrich's contact, you have met up with a group of scavengers who are off out on their next endeavour outside the electroplasmic wall that surrounds Duskfall. You are met by their leader by the name of Cassandra, who sort of looks at you a bit distastefully. Everyone.
That was your contact, wasn't it, Ben?
No, this is the woman who you're meeting. This wasn't.
Your contact's not coming with us then.
No.
Ah, that's a shame.
He pointed you in the direction of this
It's
merry
like
band of
another
scavengers.
resistance group, like the Black Lamp, that kind of thing.
Oh,
Resistance.
No more revolution.
Bravo Sierra has added on to the dog pile by saying, "My fella's a proud man."
Wow.
Not
Well, thank you for
not
that.
proud enough to wear shorts though. It would
Anywho.
turn out.
He's a very proud man.
Ooh.
He's not afraid to admit that.
So, you meet up with the Deathlands Scavenger Band. You head off. They have their own train that they operate out of Gaddock Rail Station, and they still have officials coming in and out. The officials, they tend not to ask what comes in and out normally. They just tend to monitor the goings on of the station. We see obviously that there is a new bunch with these scavengers today who are way through. With Aldrich, Giscard, and Orlan, you get through without any issues. Silas goes last.
Dear.
And this man gives you a funny look as you walk past.
I don't have as much pride as that man that just went through, I'm afraid.
As you walk past, you turn away from him, and you're pushed forward, and you feel your cap get knocked off your head. And he says to you, he's like, I fucking knew it! Sean, please describe for the viewers what the feature of your flat cap is in this game.
What is
And
the
how it
sorry?
attunes to your heritage. I believe you wear a flat cap to hide a couple of horns, don't you?
Yeah, do. And you will see those as it comes away from his head. I've tried everything to hide them, but unfortunately they're just too big. So I tried desperately to sort of put a hand over it and fumble around for the cap and try to put it back on my head as quickly as possible.
No, you're not getting away with that, mate. He's a fucking demon. He's a fucking.
Do we see this?
Screaming.
Do we see this, or are
Oh,
we?
yeah, he's definitely trying to alert someone that there is a demon in the midst.
Mate, I don't.
Yeah, go on. You go first.
Mate, I don't want to be telling you how to do your job, but surely if there's a demon in Gaddock Station, you want him to get out of the city?
It's bad luck, that, mate. Can't be out. He sort of pulls his coat back and he grabs the handle of a pretty large knife.
Mate, I wouldn't do that.
He's
I was
drawing
you.
it at speed, and
I'll
he's charging
do
Silas.
similar actions of going under coat for implements.
I literally don't even go on.
I actually allow. I'm not going to stop him from drawing away. I'm just going to try and back off as fast as possible. Give myself some distance. Even a few feet will do.
Right,
But I've got a feeling. I think he might make a slight error here.
that's going to delay him slightly. He's pulled this knife and he is charging at you with it. Both hands, trying to drive the hilt towards you. He's giving you a second for the others to do something if anybody wants to do anything right now.
I am going to pull out my own. I'm going to pull out my scary weapon or tool because this comes from our loadout, I'm guessing, right?
Yes, it does.
So I'm going to pull out. Basically, it's like a knuckle knife, but instead of like your standard like curved knife, it's like a kukri knuckle knife that I basically am just stood there like waiting in front of him, like ready to like I'm waiting for him, like Krav Maga-esque style, like, friend, you're not going to enjoy this next 2 seconds. I advise you to stop.
So he's still fixated. He's got absolute drive in his eyes. He's going for it. He's going to clatter into you when that happens.
I guess it's fucking. I'm gonna put this motherfucker down without killing him, so I'll skirmish him.
You're
and
going to
basically,
him?
the first what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna I'm gonna feint with the knife hand and then wrap my
It's
hand
before
around
a
the back.
fall comes into mind.
Yeah,
Right.
and then like basically throw him to the ground, and then as soon as he hits the ground, try and stamp on his hand to make him let go of the knife.
Right. Cool. So that'll be a, I'll say desperate position, because that's where we're rolling in at the minute. But it'll be, if you were to succeed at this guy's pretty fixated on not on you, so you're going to get great effect from this if you have to succeed. So
it's 3d6s because this is my skirmish.
yes,
I'll take the 6, please, DM.
that'll be enough. So you do as you describe. So describe to us how you.
So
do...
as he comes towards me, I wait for him to like pass by me a little bit. I grab his hands, like he's got the knife like that.
Mm-hmm.
I grab his wrist, pull him down to the floor, so that he clatters onto the floor. And then basically, as his hands are like starfished out, one of them will have the knife in it. And I basically put my heel into the flat of the back of his hand to pin it up against the knife. If he loses a few fingers, I don't mind. He started it.
I'm going to say just stamp. You got hobnail boots on, right?
Yeah, like and then I like crouch down on top of him with the kukri, and I'm like, "Horn friend, do you want me to take souvenir? I can take man's ear for you if you would like, or I can maybe scalp him like we do in Skovlander." I know they don't do that, but I'm trying to scare him with the fact that
Nice.
Who are you addressing when you say that?
I just,
Silas.
Oh.
I just nod knowingly. Yes, I'll put a darker voice on for him. Absolutely, he must pay the price.
Gentlemen. This fine man, he understands he's made an error, don't you, friend? I'm talking to the guy on the floor.
Oh, you're talking to the guy. At this point, he's riling in Orland's grip and he's just shrieking. He's not really coherent. You hear from behind you on the this sort of few familiar at this point flintlock mechanisms pulling into place, and you turn and you say, "Station security, essentially, all armed with blunderbusses. There's about 3 of them aiming at you, and the one in the middle looks at you and he goes, 'Just let that man go, mate. Nothing more for that, and be on your fucking way, yeah?'"
Good. That's what we wanted. You didn't want any trouble, Just wanted to get on the ball, the train, and get going. That's all we wanted. Get out of town.
Can I fish out some documents real quick?
Go ahead.
I've got a fine cover identity.
Sure.
I've got
Go
a flashbang. I was going to ruin everybody's day, but I'm seeing how this goes.
It's as a Mr. Harker,
Mr. Harker.
who is the Emperor's personal railway inspector. Gentlemen, but Mr. Harker, I'm here for the railway inspection. This gentleman attacked my my associate here.
He sort of looks down and he sort of pushes the blunderbuss he's holding it at the aisle, and he goes, "Off with yous!" And then both the 2 others sort of run off, and he's like, my severe apologies, sir. Will you let him go? I'll get rid of him."
He better spend the next 2 days in a cell, if I'm honest with you. The Emperor will not be pleased with this.
Oh, mate, no. Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry.
As I get off him, by the way, I do leave a gash across his forehead where I've got him by accident. I go, "You want me to let him go, boss?" And I let him go. And there's a little nick just across his forehead from where my knife stitches just flicked him.
Now, me and my little band of
Inspectors,
good one, Silas. We are walking down the track to make sure there's no breaks in it. We'll be back within... How long have we got? 12 hours, right?
Yes.
Pretty sure it was.
We're going to be back within 12 hours, and frankly, if you do not push our exit from your station that way fast, where me and you, or I'm going to have to fill in some forms, and he just starts taking out blank pieces of paper.
let's point out to him.
No need for that, mate. He grabs
maritime law suggests.
I guess you pushed him towards the door of the train. This man that charged you before.
Oh no! He was on the ground. I literally just took him down, and then basically had his hair in my hand and the cookery up against his forehead, pretended I was going to scalp him.
I'll get him out of your way, mate. Can I? He sort of walks towards you all and gesturing at the man.
I've already let him go. I let him go, but in letting him go, I've accidentally nicked the top of his, so he's got a line of blood coming down his eyes.
But everybody gangster until blunderbusses turn up in mass, right?
Yeah.
So he turns. So basically, he grabs the man with the scruff and gives him an identical bruise on the other side of his face, and then kicks him out and goes sprawling on the ground. He turns back to Aldrich and he says, "I hope that hasn't inconvenienced you too much, sir."
Well, it might not go down very well in the report, I have to tell you that. I'm a bit concerned about what we're going to write based on this, aren't you, boss?
No, that's fair. That's fair.
I think we can let this fine young gentleman off. You, mate, you're all right. If you you just make sure that when we come back in, no inconveniences inconvenience us. Yeah.
Oh, don't you worry, mate. You ask for Clave when you come back.
Clave.
Sort it out, mate.
Oh, you're a nice
you
chap, Clave. You'll be mentioned by name in the report. Good things for you.
The man is sort of the man who's
I see big things for him. I really do see big things for him. Promotion is on the cards, I suspect, boss.
His
the
pride
man,
must be
the man who's
massive.
sprawled on the floor is sort of pushing up at this point, and Clay like looks around and he goes, do you mind if I... And he jumps off the train and kicks him in the gut again.
Yeah,
And
big
he sort
thing.
of puts his arm up, looking towards the front of the train, and you hear the sound of the horn, and the door closes, and the train eventually, after a couple of minutes, begins to move.
Just staring
out
through the
station.
window at the person being kicked. This is great. This.
I have been carrying round Railway Inspector for 2 months. I thought this would never come up.
You see,
It was a bloody good cover.
That was excellent.
from the other end of the car, because Cassandra has just sort of been sat there. Oh, I knew that were going to happen. And you know what? You handled yourselves all right, boys. You might just survive out there. Don't think I don't know. This isn't a good enough disguise for what you are, mate. It really isn't.
No, he's the Emperor.
No, I'm talking to Silas.
Oh, me? Oh, I'm not the Emperor, then.
This is not a good enough disguise for who you are. There are people like that. They don't like your kind, mate.
That's why I normally stay on the river. I really don't like travelling, if I'm honest. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Well,
I like
maybe
hold
next time
my
you should
hair.
learn to do that yourself and not rely on your mates. But I reckon if you'll stick together out there, I think you'll be all right.
I like hold my hair, which is still like bright red, and I'm like, people do not like me for who I am. What is your suggestion for that, or do you? Or
I think you're damn fine, if I'm honest. I'm getting to really like you, you know. I see big things for you as well. We need names. We need names. We know he's Pride. We know that. We need to give you a name. Muscle. That's what your name should be. The Muscle. He's Pride. He could be the Muscle Pride.
My fighter name is Scrap Jacket. If you cannot pronounce Olin, you can call me Scrap Jacket. These are the
Scrap
things.
Jacket's great.
You are aware that that's a more complicated name than Orlan, right?
Apparently, in your barbarian tongue, it is easier. Something about syllables. Yes, because you cannot roll the R for Olin. Like,
don't use a word like syllables. He's probably been out with her, to be honest.
I had syllables once.
There we are, you see.
Did you see a doctor about that?
What was the problem with syllables? What was the matter with syllables? What was wrong with her?
Who?
just pissed about saying that.
Boys.
Orlan, not Orlan. Aldrich gets out a pipe and then just starts smoking it. And just kind of like waltzes off in his own world.
Sandra sort of looks back at Orlan and she's like, nah, Scotland's have proven themselves to me in my eyes. She gestures at one of her companions and he steps forward and you can tell he's wearing sort of very similar-esque jacket to what you used to own, Orlan. Sort of military-esque jacket with an NCO's.
I've still got that, but you know the jacket that I stole?
Okay.
I've like cut a patch out of it and like attached it somewhere on my jacket.
Okay, so it's
like,
still the same jacket, fair. He'll look up.
It's still the same.
Do you have any sort of insignia on there? For all?
I would probably have like, you know, on army like jacket collars, they've got like your rank and your battalion on them. I'd probably still have those on them. So like, so he'd see that I was a captain, and that I was from the 42nd Vanguard.
He'd sort of at this point the Hicks is sort of clip his heels together. So,
brother, it is good to see you, and I like grab
the Vanguard as well. He was an NCO, but he was the Vanguard as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'll do all right out there, mate. So, but these guys, ditch them. He says that to you quietly. Come with us instead. You'll make a better living with them.
you'll be surprised. My friend with the horns is quite good with those ghosty things, you see. And my friend over there, and I point at Discard. He make whole building disappear by accident trying to shell peanuts. It was amazing. I got to see the crater and everything. If we'd have had weapons like that during the war, there is no way that Akros could have beat us.
If I heard Akros could have beat us, I go, yeah, but we did, didn't we? Continue smoking my pipe.
We want the boy.
Political war games going on now, guys. So, from there, sort of the small talk continues. The train journey continues unimpeded. You exit through the lightning barrier of Duskfall, and you continue on, and the landscape very much changes. Duskfall is not a bright city. Duskfall is obviously very much an industrial city. Very rarely is it full daylight there. However, at least the buildings are maintained, and there is activity on the streets. You move out of the city, and it just goes barren. Obviously, this place was abandoned a long time ago.
This is more like home to me.
More like home. So you carry on down. Eventually, the train jolts and comes to a stop. Cassandra sort of, "We're here, boys."
Well, I would like to say it's been a pleasure, but I'm not going to, because honestly, you guys fucking terrify me. We getting off?
That's what we like to hear. You take as long as you need, boys. Tomorrow we'll go back at some point.
Great.
So, I'll see you later, brother. Do not leave without us. Scotland's are only as good as their word. I like look at him like.
I shall weigh in at this point and say, I thought we only had 12 hours, not tomorrow, to do this.
Maybe. As long as you need, boys, Cassandra yells, and you see the small Scotland man sort of dig her in the ribs, and they're walking off together. So
So the train is what? Unattended?
Oh, there's still people there, but these are like they're up at the actual head
It's
of the
their
train.
train.
Yeah.
I know it's their train, but have they all disembarked? Have they all Foxtrot Oscar, or are they left like a couple of people?
They always leave the cab
occupied. Leave the what? Sorry.
They always leave the cab occupied. Never leave it. Never leave anyone unattended there. So
We have 12 hours if we want to get this done and get out of here. I do not like these ghosts. I do not like this Acrosian shit. In Scotland, we do not deal with these things. We leave. We go. So let's go.
I think we have less time than they're letting on.
Well, we can stand here discussing it, gentlemen, or we can
Gotta
hurry
get
the
going.
fuck up.
We got no choice. We got to get going.
So you know from your research from before, you know roughly where you've been dropped off. Just
I know.
Outside of the Lost District.
I also know exactly where it is because I went to their house.
Yes. So you know where you've been dropped off, just outside the Lost District. You have the address of the property, which would be in this case 7 Armistice Avenue, which was in a very upmarket area of the Lost District. Lost District was more conceivable in its prime. It would have been more conceivable to Brightstone, which is currently the affluent region of Duskfall. However, since the infection spread and it was abandoned, it's become much more desolate. However, obviously, the luxury is still evident in these ruins. Like, it's obviously used to be a thriving city, and Armistice Avenue, is to the top of the top there. However, what that also means is a fair old hike for you. It's probably going to take you about 3 hours to get to exactly where you want to go from here.
Okay. I would like to disappear off down a side street and then reappear perhaps halfway through the trip. Perhaps a little red. It was a little sweaty. But it's a potential setup for something that I might need later.
Okay. Yeah. That happens. I guess you all head off.
Absolutely. We got to make quite quick movement here.
We
Can't head
go
out.
quick.
We can't dally around. Good pace.
So
Probably
you're
right
heading
up your street, military pace, I guess. Double march.
Did we bring
If you
a
would
car?
like, no, we're on. If you are, I can double march us if you would like. I can do Scotland marching song.
How about we just walk in silence so we don't disturb any ghosts that might want to eat all of our faces?
Sounds good to
I
me.
punch ghost.
I prefer this idea. Not the punch.
Fair enough.
You can,
But
Punch goes last resort. Yeah.
you can hear as you're moving that the sounds.
say this
aren't-
every time.
Say this every time. What? But no, you can hear as you're moving.
I was saying to them, you say this every time. Sorry, I must be lagging. That's my
Yeah, I was
fault.
gonna say you're about half a second out.
Yeah, sorry, mate. But no, as you're moving, you can hear the sounds of the Deathlands as you know them. You've heard stories of the Deathlands before and how they've gone. This is not similar to the stories that you've heard, because the stories that you hear are more of absolute desolate wastelands and not the actual city itself. However, there are definitely noises here that are familiar to you, but they are much more suppressed within the city. And those are the voices, wails, and you can see every so often these apparitions. Some of them seem to merge together with force. And carry
After
on.
we've seen like one apparition, Aldrich just gets out of his rucksack these like little bags and starts handing them out to people. And then we have a flashback to him going to a jeweler's shop with his Spirit Bane charm and like a bunch of shot for muskets. And asking them to inscribe the same ruins that's on that onto the balls. And he doesn't know if it's going to work, but the idea is that they become like almost little Spirit Bane charms that you can fire out of a gun.
Okay, then. So you will say in this flashback that you go and you deal in this sort of occult market stall owner that you find in, or store owner, I should say, that you find within the night market. I require a roll from you.
Sorry.
then. What skill would you like to use to?
Well, this is actually quite an affluent jeweler, and he's used to doing jewellery. So how I actually met him was when I was schmoozing and boozing. So
Okay,
that will be a consort roll.
I believe that would be yes.
Let me just set the stream overlay to be the dice bot for when I inevitably fuck this up.
You will be fine, Conrad. It is a very simple request. You cannot mess this up.
Wait, actually,
Go.
can I get an extra dice on this as a devil's bargain? And I think you're gonna like this one.
Go on.
I get this done, but I'm not gonna roll to see if it's effective until after we have to use one.
Okay.
So we hold off the roll until after we've fired it. So if we fire it as a last-ditch effort, we don't know if it works.
I like that. So, very unique situation here. We are going to preempt a flashback for when a situation might come up.
Well, I mean, it kind of sets something up for a flashback, but not quite the same way.
So you hand out these little pouches of, I guess you say they are ammunition to people. And eventually you come to Armistice Avenue after a hefty trek, a 3-hour trek from the train. Takes you a few minutes just to settle down, but you approach the street. It's a large, open street with big mansions on either side. Obviously, like I said, this is an affluent district. This was the affluent street within that district. This is absolutely god tier in terms of luxury. But obviously, time and the situation have eroded that luxury and now appears to be quite desolate and abandoned. You can hear noises that you're not really sure of the origin of, and they're coming from several of the buildings that you will hear within. And you occasionally, like I say, you continually see these apparitions moving across in front of you.
Roll out whatever map we've got, take a look at it, particularly, make sure we're in the right place, and just check other buildings that we might want to go and check afterwards.
I would also pull out my fine heavy weapon, which is a really well kept Scovlan musket, like rifle, long range rifle.
Nice.
And basically I'm like, as he's like checking the map, I'm like walking around, like keeping an eye out with this thing, like loading the ball bearings into it that he's given me.
Yeah, I think you should have every bit of ammunition. If I'm honest, I'd give you any ammunition that I'm given, I'll give it to you because you seem to know what you're doing with this stuff.
It's got like it's what's the ones that could hold multiple?
A blood.
Pardon? Yeah, it's a
Repeater.
repeater rifle. The one that like almost Wild West style has got the crank underneath it.
I thought they weren't a thing, and that's what I was working on as a project.
Oh, are they
Unfortunately,
not a
a
thing?
weapon like that would not. That would be possible. I know it's vague in the description, but unfortunately, something like that. A blunderbuss I'd accept, but not a.
I'll do just a normal flintlock rifle then.
Okay, yeah, flintlock musket. So you produce that, and you know from you consulting your map that you've got with you. Number 7 Armistice is the house at the very end. There are 3 houses on either side, and the one that you can see central to this where you are now standing is number 7. This is surprisingly not as decrepit as the other houses.
That's more worrying in many ways.
It is you look at it now, and it's almost like you see the weeds that have grown in the street, and you see the windows that are broken. Clearly, people have come here before, like to scavenge and to try and find. And you look at the end of this house, and none of the windows are smashed in. There seems to be almost some colour in the leaves and plants that grow outside it.
Is it virtually untouched, or is there anything to show that it has been damaged?
It's the sort of look of a house that hasn't been maintained for a while, but definitely not one that's become run down.
Right.
I turn to Orlan and just go, well, that's fucking ominous.
We need to have a good look round the outside first. Before
Horn Comrade will.
Yes, we go around the back, use the tradesman's entrance. Might be quieter.
Cool. So
You can't just
you
blow the door off. That is kind of why we hired you, Gizgard.
If you want.
we might damage.
I am somewhat worried that
I
no damage has been done.
I will say no to no plan.
Let's just
I will simply set the
take a
position.
look round. Let's
Do
take a
you
look
want to have
round.
you want to have a quick? Who wants to take the lead in the scouting out of the surrounding area?
I start ruffling through my coat to find a thing that would please. Excuse me. please, Aldrich. Aldrich is what's the word? Need for explosions.
So are you doing this first, or are you taking a scout around as a group?
Take a scout
I'm
around.
just kind of
Okay.
I've got something.
If you want, I can. What? That's prowl, isn't it? If we're looking.
So this particular area, I would say the skill for casing an area would be survey. So if anybody wants to take the lead in this and take,
I have nothing in survey. Just making you aware.
I have one. I'm quite happy to take the
okay,
lead.
well, we'll call it a group action then. So if everybody would roll what their skill would be in survey, and then following Silas's lead, we will count it as one roll.
Yeah, if somebody could kindly roll it for me, I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
How many do
I'll
you have?
do.
Just one. Just one.
I would go 2 and then take disadvantage.
I got
wouldn't I? 'Cause I've
4.
Okay, 2 and take the lowest. Yes.
4's not bad.
I'll
So
take the 2 4s.
Yeah. So do you have any in survey, Giscard?
Hold on, I'm just switching tabs and finding the right thing. That one. Go. And in survey,
Yes.
surprisingly, no, I don't.
Oh,
Okay, so
really?
take roll 2 and take the lowest then.
Okay.
But if I can, if I can use demolition tools to effectively bring out a satchel charge,
I mean, that won't really help for the current action.
Yeah, that's not really a survey.
That's
I
more-
hold it up. I hold it up to Aldrich's.
That's more a
The
seismic
front door,
survey.
the back door.
So
Maybe a side window.
That's a
cool. So
seismic.
you all, as a group, following Silas's direction, you follow around the area and get a rough idea of what it's looking like. You go a big full loop around
Yep.
the house.
Full circle round.
Oh, did I need to roll as well? Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
2d6. Take the lowest.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So as you're rolling that, James, I'll describe what you
Yep.
see. So you see around, you walk around the house, and you can see that this era of the almost aura that it has emanating from it, it's not what it looks like from the front. It looks like all around. Seems to be, you can kind of almost see a boundary, if you will, like a weird sort of shimmer as to where this transition is from what you're currently stood in to what this
Can
house
we see that with our new gang upgrade? Can we?
Is
like,
it
see what's
protective?
causing
Are
it?
you saying it's a protective aura of some kind that's kind of.
Simply that you can see that the difference in, like, especially you can see it around the garden area with the vegetation. The
Yeah.
vegetation toward the edge of the house, and especially right up close to it, is definitely more like alive, if you will, and more well kept than what is further away.
We need an area of the house where there is no vegetation, where there's windows that are accessible, that kind of thing we're looking for. We don't want to be anywhere near that stuff, I say.
So you go around this.
Did
There is
Guard already throw me a grenade? Sorry.
No, I'm holding a satchel charge, sort of saying, "Do you want the door removed?"
Carry on. Sorry.
So you walk around. You obviously find that this aura sort of continues. The garden as a whole, it's a large garden. You can definitely tell that it's run down. But then as you get up to the house, you again feel this aura of no real degradation here. However, you also kind of, as you go around, you have to clatter around a bit. You have to climb over the fence in the garden to obviously get a better look of what that looks like. And you sort of, as you come back, I assume you go back round to the front again to complete your little tour. Yeah, you can kind of feel and you can sense with your new upgrade as a gang, by the way, Ghost Echoes, these apparitions and these voices that you hear were before they were distant. Now they are much louder, and there seem to be more of them. And you can kind of look and you can see apparitions, whereas before they were moving sort of willy-nilly, if you will, kind of within no discernible direction. They are now sort of more focused in their direction, more sort of moving around, sticking to the same kind of spots. And there are even a couple that are just motionless at the bottom, just sort of floating back and forth.
I would like to check something before you make big boom. Is this okay?
Well, I was going to suggest a smash and grab because them ghosties are getting closer.
So I point my gun towards a window.
Okay.
I'm gonna fire. I'm gonna fire a shot off at the window and see if it goes through.
At the window of the house.
Yeah.
Used a rock, but too late.
Cool. So I won't make you roll for that. You're aiming at a stationary target. It's pretty. There's no real disadvantage.
Be on your toes, gentlemen. Be on your toes.
So you
You're
fire
not-
off your
not an
right.
orc.
You hear the loud crack, and you can smell the discharge of it. You can hear, and it's sort of leaves a nice small hole in the window. And then after a time, it's not what you would expect from a gunshot hitting a window. Normally, you would expect a full force of shatter, and this is just this is a small hole that appears.
Yeah.
Wait.
Probably about an inch in diameter.
Yeah, it's not quite.
Maybe that's due to the spirit bullets, though.
No, that's even from this, and I like hold the rifle up to him.
That should have
This
smashed.
this blow hole clean through man. I do not that not good.
Is there like a rock on the or like a loose cobble on the cobbled street?
Sorry, did you hear that?
Yeah,
Hear whispers, sort of.
yeah. We kind of try and attune to those whispers a little bit, see if we can pick up what they're trying to tell us.
Cool. So you're using a tune then. So how many points do you have in a tune?
I have got 2 points in a tune.
So what are you trying to determine from this roll?
Try and understand what is being said. That might help guide us.
Cool.
See what the spirits are trying to tell us.
Yeah, that's a couple of five.
We've kind of. I'm not going to bargain or anything. I'm just going to go with the 2 dice and determine the next move from there.
Cool. So you feel this. You've obviously got the success from there. You can hear these whispers very prominently, and as you turn, obviously you can see that the 2 apparitions that were stationary have now sort of come towards you, and specifically to you, Silas. They are sort of now moving around you as a pair.
I don't in the slightest bit flinch or get worried about it. I allow them to kind of engulf us, if you will, be close to us. I want to hear what they have to say.
Yeah,
I do say openly. I say it very openly. We don't want to cause any harm to you. We just want to remove something from the house that belongs to someone.
As Silas is saying that, I'm just like really slowly putting the lock back on my flintlock.
Yeah, I kind of feel people are getting more nervous, but I'm not showing any of that.
You see my hand begin to glow a little bit as I'm ready to like fucking grab one of these.
We're not going to harm you.
I'll flip the satchel charge over a shoulder so
God.
I've got it.
Yeah, they're not
Ready
worried
to
about you
use
at all.
later.
Don't mind my
and
friends. They're happy to see
I'll-
you as well.
go for something else out of my jacket.
Cool. So you see these two apparitions circling you, and this sort of whispers become much more prominent. They're sort of not decay. Something inside preventing decay.
Yes, thank you.
Leave alone.
Thank you. We will try. We will try. Do not worry, spirits. We will try to figure this out. I will repeat what I've heard in case it wasn't, unless they did. They might have heard it, I don't know. But I shall say there's something inside protecting against decay. It hasn't, by the look of the house, it hasn't fallen as badly as it should have done. So clearly there is something inside.
Oh, I guess we're in like a huddle. What else you're saying, so they can't hear, and I just go smash and grab, smash and grab, smash and grab.
Sounds like it's up your forte, boss.
Can
Lead the way.
ask a quick question to our DM?
Go ahead.
What kind of artifacts and items are available that can, forcefully but peacefully ward back ghosts, if that makes sense?
Spirit Bane charms.
So you've got Spirit Bane charms, which are basically like crucifixes for ghosts.
Is there anything a level above Spirit Bane?
I've got Compel one. I can kind of stop one from attacking, maybe. There's all sorts of things you can try and do, but it's all risky.
Or are Spirit Bane charms like come in a scale of
No, they're just
dear Lord
items. They're only sort of one scale.
Okay, so is there any sort of artifact above those?
No.
No. Okay. In that case, I'd like a flashback of going to see a former colleague from the university and good friend.
Yes.
She works in the history department and the occult department. So shared interests. And it's a wine and dine. And can I borrow a couple of these, please?
Cool. What are these?
Spirit Bane charms.
Okay.
So that's what comes out next.
Yeah.
A pair of Spirit Bane charms.
I believe you've all got Spirit Bane charms.
I've already got one,
Yeah. I
So
don't. I didn't before, and these are loans on pain of returning.
Yeah, that's right. Just make a note of that. Obviously, that it's a different item that's normal. But yeah, you can all have a charm. Obviously. How's
That
that
counts against our loadout.
This place, just smash and grab, like I say.
I say, excuse me, coming through, and just hold the pair of them up in front of me as to make a path.
You definitely feel as you're moving towards this house. Obviously, these two spirits from before are still circling, and you can sense that others definitely before. There is definitely a very clear presence of spirits just stopped now and observing what happens.
I
Smash
do
and
not
grab.
like this.
Put the satchel charge on the door, Gizgard. We might have to move quick.
I like load up. I'm ready. I'm like,
Pull back far enough. Get ready.
It's a door of normal-ish looking hinges, right?
It is a normal door.
Yeah, but like the hinges are like normal looking hinges.
Yeah.
Excellent. I open the door, I tap the pins out, and I take the door with us.
You opened the door, you said. Oh.
Yeah, holding Spirit Bane charms. Clunk.
I said to blow the door open, so if I hear it, I'm gonna just turn around and be like.
I'm literally like ducking for cover, like ready, knowing like wartime explosion.
You tell him to be subtle. He shoots people in the face. You tell him to be smash and grab. He carefully takes the door off.
Gizgard, we told you to blow the door. We literally hired you to blow shit up. Gizgard, close the door and blow it up.
Out of character, guys. The first rule of any lockpicking class is always check if it's unlocked first. Door opens normally. Cool.
When the door opens normally, I shall whip out. I shall put. I assume Spirit Bane charms are like necklaces.
Yeah,
so
they're a necklace.
I'll put the pair of them over there. I will pop out either fine tinkering or fine wrecking tools, depending on which one you prefer, because it's going to be like a center punch pin and a hammer of some size to knock the pins out from the hinges, and then just take the door off. And
that leader's not looking so happy with his.
I told you to blow the.
Why am I taking the door off?
Yeah,
because I have preconceptions about what ghosts can do, having played Phantasmaphobia.
But
if there's no door, they can't close it.
But I told you to blow the fucking door off.
A moment of respect for our leader's dreams of blowing the doors off a house.
Yeah, we must
Orlan,
hold a moment's
mate.
silence.
He turns to
We must
Orlan.
hold a moment's silence for the fallen door.
He turns to Orlan and he was like, Orlan, you were hired to, like, punch things and kill shit. If I told you to punch things and kill shit, what would you do?
I would probably punch things and kill shit because that is what I do in general, not just because you hire me. Like, you found me in Fighting Pit. Like, this is what I do.
Well, this motherfucker blew up a building by accident. Right, Silas, you're on this job because you do weird ghost bollocks. If I asked you to do some weird ghost bollocks, what would you do?
I'd go and unpick a door with the hinges first, and then maybe consider what you've said, boss. I'm only joking. I'm 100% with you.
You sort of hear, as you're having this conversation, Giscard sort of walks up just like he's behind a door and he's like...
Yeah, okay. I'll say sometimes you have to know when to use the little hammer instead of the big one.
What? I didn't want
Sometimes
the
you
door
gotta
off.
know-
It was called shock and awe. We were going to scare the ghosties off. we were
Sometimes
going
you
to grab
don't
the
know
jewellery.
whether to hold them or fold them. So in this time,
Okay, fine. I take half dozen steps away with the door, pop the door down, take the satchel charge off, take the handle of the door and lift it up, put the satchel charge underneath the door, launch the satchel charge, and casually walk back into the house and
Oh,
say
shit.
you might want
we
to
better
take
get
cover.
back. We start running for cover.
As I walk past you might want to take cover, and I'll go. I'm
I'm
assuming
in the door.
I'm assuming
Like-
the doorway is stone.
You hear
Yeah.
an absolutely enormous
Hold
explosion.
on. I mean, just finish before you do that. I assume the doorway is stone, right?
It's a
Around
wooden-
Yeah, no, the door was wood. I had a wooden frame, but I'm assuming it was then stone and brick on the sides, right? Yeah. I would step inside and just stand back to there with the the door next to me open, just stand with my back to the wall, waiting for the bang.
It does come, as I described. And I guess what do you do then after this gigantic explosion?
That's
I
more
am-
fucking like it. And then I like run it through the door.
Excellent. So,
I'm like on the other side of the door to him, like looking at him like, I understand you were trying to prove a point, but that was wasteful and dangerous, no?
I did as I was asked.
He certainly did.
Aldrich at this point is like running up the stairs with his musket.
is anyone in the street?
It's more clever than you think. Under maritime law, that's genius what you just done there. Genius.
Is anybody still in the street at this point?
No, we better all run in. I think we got
I
to
was going to
support
say,
our
did any of you
boss.
take cover when that went off?
I did.
I
I
did.
ran for cover.
I'm on the other side of the door to you, like me and you were like basically the door frame.
I like the way you just
So
did
the
it.
three of
Just
you
started
that
walking off.
were, like, presumably because you knew this was setting up Giscard, you knew. Everyone else take level 1 harm, ringing ears.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
And if, like, as you all run inside, you can see, you sort of feel this aura that's been enveloping this property. You kind of feel it's like a sort of glowing warmth. It's a bit like a charm. Like you get the same sort of feeling from a spirit bane charm when you feel like being attacked.
If I'm wearing 2 Spirit Bane charms, how does that feel?
2 warm feelings.
Ooh.
2 warm spots.
Question, DM.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Does this place look like it's been plucked clean, or is the preservation like made it so that everything's still where it was?
So the place it sort of looks bare. Like there's not anything obvious on top of any mantelpieces or anything, but obviously it still looks very clean and it looks well maintained.
There's something here. Let's just go. Let's follow the boss.
First rule of military: check bottom up, see if cellar.
Cool.
Aldrich's
if you
already
want
ran
to-
up the stairs.
Clear, guys. If you want to do a thorough search of this property from top to bottom, it is going to, like, I'm not going to make you roll for it. You're going to be as thorough, like, you're going to find what you want to find eventually, but it is going to take you 2 hours. And you've
Okay.
already-
Fine. I don't think we got any choice. We got to look for it, unless there's anything obvious.
Cool. So you start in separate rooms, all kind of searching through.
I start in the cellar. I make a point of starting in the cellar.
We'll describe, like, again, I'm not going to ask you for any roles because you are going to find, but how are you searching?
Let me tell
What
you.
what specifically are you searching for?
This
I'll
is
ask
this
that.
is exactly what we're doing, right? I'm doing it scientifically. So I'm going to, obviously we're all working together. Whatever floor we end up on, if it's top floor first, fine. But we just map it out. How many paces is it each side, and just check that there's no obvious gaps. Is there something hidden
Yep.
in one of the rooms? That's what we're going to do.
Right. So I'll ask as well, what specifically are each of you searching for? Is there anything in particular that you want to search for?
Aldrich
Looking
has
for
basically ran straight up the stairs and is going to whatever bedrooms he can find and like tossing all the drawers out and stuff, looking for the jewelry that we're here for. Like he's just like tearing dresses down and like throwing the sheets off beds, and he's still like holding a musket in one hand, like as he's doing it.
Remind me what the name of this item was.
It was an ornate sort of jewelry collection.
Okay.
So I'll say though, so Aldrich, you are stripping out all the bedrooms and the drawers. You find nothing in the drawers. You find nothing in, again, this place likely has been picked before, but obviously things are still well maintained.
Oh no.
But you throw the sheets in the last bedroom. You find you pull the sheet off the bed and you hear a sort of thud come from the mattress.
I'm gonna what, inside the mattress? Take out a knife and just.
You're gonna as you insert the knife and you draw it back. You pull open where this open, obviously this hole that you've created with this knife, and you can see inside that there is quite an ornate looking box. Funny, it seems that they've almost as if somebody wouldn't think to look for jewelry inside this particular location.
That must have been a shit thing to sleep on, I'll tell you that much.
Just gonna open the thing, check its jewelry.
So what you see inside is like a very ornate looking, almost a tiara. And it's got this weird sort of shimmering, almost like, again, you can almost see this glistening pattern in this stone at the top of it. And as you open it, you can feel that there is something emanating, some feeling you're getting from this particular box.
Silas!
Yeah, I'll go up and see what he's found. He's mapping out the room.
Is there a basement in this place, like a cellar?
That's where I am. I'm in the cellar.
We'll
go back to Silas in a second, then we'll cut to all of his card. What are you doing?
I'll join you in the cellar, tapping walls, pressing stones, moving barrels if there are any, etc., etc. Assuming it's a fancy basement, it might just be a hole in the dirt.
So it's. Are we going to whatchamacallit first? Are we going to Sean first, or are you with us?
No, you guys first. So what I'll say quickly is this place is luxury beyond things you have ever seen. Like what you were seeing before now was obviously run down. This place is well kept, so you'll walk into this cellar that is just exquisite. Like there is, again, you can see very little in the way of actual like plunder, if you will, but this is an ornately kept and very fine looking cellar.
I'm using like military-esque like raiding thing, so I'm like just literally doosh, like looking for secret compartment, like knocking on stuff.
I'll stop you from actually destroying stuff and things about, and to look, calm down, take a little bit of more of a refined approach. Don't break things.
I'm taking the measured approach. I'm measuring out the width of the building and the rooms and getting a feel for if there are any spaces in each of the levels.
I like to think that as Gizgard giving this speech, we cut back to Aldrich and he's just like cutting the fucking mattress open.
Ripping the drawers out. We can hear a lot of noise from upstairs. We can hear a lot of noise. We just let him get on with it.
Jordan.
So what are you saying?
So he told me to stop, so I stop. I look at him. I go, "Well, if you're such an expert, I don't remember you having to scavenge for food on the warfront. But okay."
It's not to do with not scavenging. It's to do with some of this might be valuable. We might be able to take it with us. If it's broken, it's not much worth taking it with us.
Too heavy, too heavy. Cannot carry. Like you take what you can. But yeah, I do what he says, and I start looking and basically like knocking on things to see if they're hollow, like see if I can find like any trapdoors or anything.
Yeah. So what you don't find anything hidden. You find a lot. Again, this is a cellar of storage of booze. It would have been provisions, potentially quite fine liquor. All of that is gone. But what you do find are sort of implements for handling. You find sort of bottles, sort of storage, quite fine decanters, quite fine implements like corkscrews as such, implements for preparing certain drinks.
It's what you'd expect, isn't it? So far,
Yeah, serving equipment, effectively.
No one gives, like, basically the people who were here before probably didn't give a shit about that stuff. They want the booze and they're gone. They want whatever they can drink or eat and they're gone.
Do we find anything, any spaces or any unusual areas not accounted for when we do the width and measurements of the room?
Yes, that would be something I would do roughly, but just
There is so as you're pacing the sort of, you start to quite methodically. Again, you can see that downstairs it's bare brick. There's nothing there. Down like the cellar, sorry, bare brick. Downstairs, again, you don't really find anything. When you walk upstairs, you're pacing around, and you can sort of you get to one corner, and you double check and triple check, and you swear that you're about a pace off.
That's fine. This is the area. So I point this out to him. This is the area we need to search. I'm convinced this is it. The reason I know my pacing is right, that my steps are 3 feet wide. Now, this is standard. So I know if it's a pace out, it's 3 foot. That's enough of a gap. So we need to search here.
We found the tiara. Is that not what we're here for?
That's good. That's good.
I've also got the decanter and stuff.
That's very good, boss.
We want more, right? We want profit.
Of course. There might be something here, boss. Come and have a look.
Are we like stood in a circle around this 3 foot void?
Yeah, so it's only about a foot, not 3 foot.
Sorry,
Okay.
this foot void.
It's up in one of the upper stairs corridors, and they're very, again, it's a very grand house. You sort of walk, you've been doing this methodically, you got a bit bored, and you double check, and you at one wall, you would think, was that right or was that not right?
We double check.
I'll turn to Orlan and say, would you like to employ your food hunting techniques on this wall?
Okay. So I pull out another find hand weapon.
You know you have like demolition tools, right? So you can have a
demolition tools is a thing. I've
got burglary gear. Is what I've got. I've not got demolition
Perfect.
tools. I do have demolition tools.
This is just what we need. This is it. This is the
I've
area.
got burglary gear, and basically I pull out like a small hatchet from the demolition tools and from the burglary gear, which is for like, doosh, 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 and I start like looking to see if I can get through this wall to find the gap.
So
while you're doing that, Jordan, when I did the pins on the door, did I use fine wrecking tools, fine tinkering tools, or burglary tools?
Fine tinkering tools.
Cool, thanks. I just need to mark it off.
So yeah, you start hitting this wall, Orlan. And you kind of how would you describe yourself? Are you using this sort of quite savagely? Are you attacking it?
Yeah, I'm just like trying to get through it. There's no like methodical like. Right, I want to make as big a hole as I can so I can stick my head through.
Cool. So you said you'd probably be wrecking it then.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's give it.
Try and be a little bit subtle. We don't know what's on the other side. Just calm it down. Slowly take one brick out at a time.
I turn to Silas and say, I think the front door was about as subtle as a fart in a lift.
As these guys are like urging him to like slow down, I'm like, yes, hit it.
Orlan, do you want to make me a wreck?
I'm not going to argue with the boss. He knows what he's doing.
I would say I would push myself for this DM. So I'd take the 2 stress to get an extra. Yeah.
Pummeling the wall with his hatchet.
Yeah, just like
step back, give all the room in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So. Oh.
How bad?
So what you do? You take out your small hatchet, and you send sort of irk yourself up. You sort of toss it between your hands, get the balance, the feel. You kind of go. First couple of times, you're not really sure it's doing anything. It's sort of making a noise that you're not really sure. A plasterboard wall should not be making this sort of noise. It's a very sort of clang that you're hearing almost.
That's what we thought.
You're sort of hitting this wall, and the third time you do it, the handle of your axe snaps, and the head of the axe. So you're in front of it as you're hitting it, and the head of the axe sort of pings off.
Oh God!
Fires back.
Ouch.
Take level 1 harm.
Oh, that's 2 level 1 shit.
Take 1 harm. We'll say slashed cheek. Level 1 harm slashed cheek.
Could we just flash back for a split second there and just remember what I said to him? Take it slowly, one brick at a time.
So that is an item that's been ticked off, but
sorry, go on. While you're effing and jeffing at that, I'll pick up that axe head. You said it was a plasterboard, right? Or a plaster wall, at least.
It's not a plasterboard wall.
It's
It's like
not
ringing. It's metallic.
Yeah,
it's more secure
I
than you think.
suspect that's something behind it that you were hitting. Hit through
Yeah,
plaster.
you need to tap it. We now need to tap it and see if there's an area that's different than the rest of the wall.
Would I be right, Jordan, in saying that it is a plaster wall or plasterboard wall, and behind it is something that he may have been hitting with the axe?
So what you can see from the small indentations that Orlan has made is that there is a mark that has been made, but it's a very shallow mark, and you can look through and see something behind.
Yeah, I'm specifically saying it's plaster, isn't it? And then there's something potentially behind it that was being hit. Okay, cool. So I'll take the axe head and go and put it up against the wall blade first and drag it with some force in a square. I will then poof and hit the plasterboard and use the little holes to pull the whole thing off. So hopefully it will fracture in a nice square and you can pull the remaining board out.
Cool. So you can spend a few minutes doing that. Obviously, you can set up a little archway that you can then pull off, and you have this metallic, essence in front of you. It's a very flush. It's almost like a safe would look like, but you can see it almost looks just completely flush. It just doesn't look like anything. However, if you look closer at it, you can see that there are a couple of very, very small hinges on one side, and there is a very small hole for a key on the other side in the middle.
This is what you're looking for, right, boss?
I say peanut.
No, this needs more subtle charge explosion.
Can we flash back to our meeting with Morland Mortensen?
Go ahead.
Right, so we flash back to the boat. He's sat. I don't know if he can physically sit on it, but he's sat on that overstuffed armchair, and there's the whimpering child, right, who ran in.
Yeah, there was a whimpering child in that episode.
So what? They're in a safe, or they're in what are we talking here?
Safe? But you think I'm crude enough to have safes, boy?
Well, how do we get to your jewelry?
Well, you look for it. Make a try and again. We'll say that this happens sort of retroactively and mixed in. So I'll say it's probably sway.
Sway.
I'm trying to sway him into giving you any more information.
Yes.
Anyone want to give me a devil's bargain while I'm here?
It's difficult to say because it's sort of already happened.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't think of one. If anyone else can, go ahead.
Yeah, no.
I'll roll the one dice. Let me check I've got the dice overlay.
I can't think of a good one.
You can push yourself for an extra one.
Ooh, I can. I'll take the stress.
Push yourself.
4 is the highest on that. I will take the 2 stress.
Cool. So we'll cut just back to We'll cut back at that point, and you'll sort of say, you'll look at it and you'll go, you notice what you remember from flashing back to your conversation with him is you notice that he was wearing a ring with a sort of funny shape on it.
Okay.
That you can sort of remember vaguely now. It was a very small shape that you can sort of vaguely familiar. Matches up with this hole.
Orlan, did you manage to get a ring? That Mortensen's girl. That's why we sent you to the house. Did you get it? Do a flashback. Do a goddamn flashback.
Oh yeah, sorry. So I'll flash back to being at the. Sorry, I was more like, what are we gonna do? And then he was like, you do a flashback. Yeah. So I'll flash back to being with Mortensen's. Was it his granddaughter?
His daughter.
His daughter. And I explain we've been approached by an individual to help you with your current financial situation. They have informed us of a bequeathed item that never made its way to you, and we are going to retrieve it for you.
obviously, there will be a small finder's fee. But is there anything that may help us in retrieving this item? Any keys? Any? I do not know how you say in Akron. Hidden rooms.
How are you asking her for this information?
Oh, I'm gonna have to fucking This isn't a command, so I'm gonna have to like consort or something.
You notice as you remember back to having this conversation, you do notice that she was wearing a necklace, and it has a sort of funny looking locket attached to it. Which you remember, you'll remember. If you think of this in the flashback, you're in the present. You're looking at this safe that you found with this small opening, and you've sort of retroactively remembered. Oh my gosh, I've seen that before.
What about that? And I point at her necklace. Could that help us in any way?
I don't know. She sort of grips it and kind of retreats slightly.
We are looking for this item could make you very rich. It could make you very it could help you come, and it would help our benefactor and our come to terms with what has happened to him and the loss of this item for you. So if you can help us get it, I am sure that we can come to some sort of arrangement of a lower finder's fee. And on pain of return, I will make sure that anything you lend us is returned to you for sentimental value. Promise. Scout's honor. So yeah, I feel as if this is a sway roll, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Can I take a devil's bargain?
Go on. Anyone got a suggestion or?
I've got one.
Go on.
What's that?
Our benefactor, our vampiric benefactor, wants that diadem, that necklace. So she's actually not going to get it back after the job unless we fuck over our vampiric benefactor.
Take it. I'm happy with that. If you want to take that,
Yeah, sounds great. Let's go with that.
go with it.
Scotland's are only good as their word. So I only get one D6 now because I don't have anything in it. So 1D6.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, Orlan. You've been great at this sort of shit, which is like. Oh!
Yeah. So she sort of, as you're sort of recounting this story, she's got this necklace. She starts to hear your words in a way of maybe you are trying to help her, and you think you know how to do it basically, and you think that you can give her some peace that she hasn't really had for a while. So she takes off the necklace. You think this will help?
Anything with a tie to the location that you have mentioned will be very helpful. Thank you, madam. I will make sure that this comes back to you.
Cool. So we flash back now into the present day, and what do?
I like pull out the locket and I like look at it and I'm like, she gave me this. I like put it in. I like put it in and see if it works.
I was gonna say if you pull that out, I'll
Go ahead.
James is
a
like
little eyeglass. I'll take it off you and click. Hopefully you heard that.
Yeah, I did hear that, mate. So as you move this shape of this locket, so the last sort of 0.5 millimeter, it kind of clicks in place, and you can hear that there's just some mechanism, obviously, within there. That it's not a turn. It doesn't sound as a turn, but you can sort of hear a humming sound that sort of and then this sort of there was no discernible sort of mechanism noise, but it was like the door sort of just swings open.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Basically, like you deactivate them.
There you go, boss. Subtle approach sometimes is worth it. That's why you got me along.
Cool. Who wants to look inside the safe?
I think it's got to come down to me because we're dealing with
I'm
ghosts.
standing in front of it, so yeah.
Oh.
So
I'd open it and stand aside while looking in.
Yeah, looking inside, what you can see is this sort of, again, you can see hanging on the back wall of the safe is like a sort of neck, again, a very similar necklace, a larger and a more ornate one than what you've just had, but of the same sort of, it's almost as if it's almost like a crest type shape you can see on this necklace. And then you can see down in the bottom of the safe are a pair of rather fine looking daggers that are in very, very ornately decorated scabbards. What I will say is, since all this has happened, another hour has passed.
That's not great news. Gents, remember, this all goes to the lady, and we go rob a different building for our take.
Correct.
We don't want to be spooked by that fucking Mortensen bloke all the rest of our lives, do we?
Nah, no, we do not.
And he's finding us that big old diamond.
Indeed.
So what did our vampire patron want in our bargain? The diadem or the necklace?
He wanted the little ring thing that you just I just opened, took off you and opened the door with.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've got a better version to give to her, so we'll just say like that goes to her.
You can't wear two.
Yeah, we lost the other one. Something about the it broke in the mechanism.
To open the lock required the sacrifice of the necklace.
Yeah, I'm sure we can lie to this poor grieving woman's face. It'll be fine.
Yeah, she's not going to worry about that. Not if we give her all this stuff.
You could always just sleep with her, Aldrich. I hear many people forget their worries as they are more disappointed after a night with you.
I think he doesn't have enough pride for that.
Right,
Or
shall we
maybe
go
he
rob
has-
this other gaff with all the exotic weaponry?
Cool.
Well, we
So,
can go
are you heading out? Are you heading out of this house now?
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
so.
if there's any, did Orlan
I
possibly
got
figure
the
out exactly how many items, or us when we were talking to the ghost, figure out exactly how many items.
Morland
Gorgeous
said it was
jewelry.
a family heirloom that he wished returned. He didn't specify what.
I think we got it. I think it's the fancy
This
necklace
is
and
the
the
only,
tiara.
these are the only, obviously, you were here for 2
Yeah.
hours obviously searching. These are the only 2 items of interest you have found.
Three,
think
because it's the
we're-
daggers as well, right?
I think he's
Again?
going to be happy with the necklace, but we'll find out when we offer him what we found and see what happens.
Yes, I'd just rather avoid having to come back.
So we have 3 hours. So 3 hours to get here, 2 hours to search, and an hour's passed.
We're on
whilst
6
we've-
hours. I've got a tally
Right.
going.
We need to go and have a look round somewhere else. So we've got a map of the area of other affluent houses that might be worth a look based on what they previously, their occupants that were previously there.
There's-
Which one stands out? Anything
I've got
that's not-
that Silas found one that has antique,
Exotic
unique
weaponry.
weaponry.
Yeah, that's the one
Yeah.
we want to go and have a look at.
Just
Cool.
before we leave this place, have we searched it fully?
Yes, you have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, no problem. I will do one thing then. I will look out the back and see if there is a cart.
Yep.
Bugger.
Can we
I
see the train from here? Can we see if the train's still here?
No, like again, you've had
We
to
walked for like 3 hours, man.
district to get here, so
we
you're
ain't
very
got a lot of time, gentlemen. Now we're going to have to be even more smash and grab.
as
Yeah.
we're leaving, I point to one of the structural like pillars or walls, and I look at Gizgard and I point to it, and then I nod, and then I continue walking out.
I nod back and follow you out.
No, Gizgard, we hired you to blow shit. I want to see the whole house go.
You walk
It's a nice
outside.
place. The people that brought us here might wish to have a look at some point.
Oh, God damn it.
You walk outside with your items in tow. I guess you just kind of stow them all in a bag of some sort.
Oh yeah, Aldrich.
Hold on, let's just have a think about it for a minute.
You're all
right?
still wearing your Spirit Bane charms.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, both of them.
I've not got mine on. I've just got my musket.
The last time, remember, if we don't set ourselves up right before we go back, we're going to get robbed. So let's do this properly this time.
I've got a bag. I've got like a bag. Whatever the Duskfall like equivalent of a dollar sign is, it's like got that printed on it, and that's right for everything.
So it's a D with a line through the middle.
Silas, you don't think this is secure enough?
No, if you're happy, boss, that's fine with me. I mean, you know your stuff. I nod knowingly inside my head. I'm going, what a twat. Yes, boss, secure, perfectly secure.
Oh, very good. So you exit the house, and those of you who are wearing Spirit Bane charms will realise that you're getting that feeling from them as you step out of this sort of aura threshold, and it's it's almost painful this time, whereas before it was almost a warm feeling. It's almost painful now.
Is
And
it
I
a
think
little
this
less
is the
painful
moment-
with two of them?
Yeah, I think this is
looking
the
around,
moment.
you can
I think-
sort of what you initially you're like, have I got something in my eye? Because you look and you realize that no, I haven't got something in my eye. What you are looking at is a sea of apparitions that are there's so many of them that you can see before you that it is misting up the background. Vision is almost becoming hazy because of the sheer presence of all these apparitions.
Aldrich shoulders his rifle and says, "I suggest you all back off."
I like ghost fist up. You see my fists glow like the same color blue as them. I'm like, I will fucking fight every single one of you. Come at me, bro.
And these, again, you feel this almost heat now. Not just not a warm feeling, but it's almost a burning heat.
I
Taking
will-
my spirit charm off.
Yeah, I'll take both mine off and hold them again.
I'm still
Again.
not wearing mine.
I'm still not wearing mine either.
So
I was wearing them like a necklace to do the work in the
one of
room.
the apparitions is going to sort of, you can see it focus on Aldrich, and with this sort of speed it moves.
If it starts to move towards me, I say, "Halt, spirit!"
Move.
If I'm going to pull the trigger, and I guess I now roll my 3
Make your
dice.
last short roll,
Yeah,
please.
I would normally compel it to leave him, but he told me that these weapons are ready exactly for this. So I'm leaving my bit. My boss knows what he's doing, so I'm
Yeah,
blind
when-
with his capable.
Oh no!
When you fire, or just before you fire, I'll step back through the door just to go and check
Was
the
this,
back.
was this a double one?
Oh, so what
It was a
happened?
triple one.
So what was it you bought from this man?
I bought a bunch of like musket shot that I had like Spirit Bane Charm runes like carved all on it.
Do you know
He
what
just
happens if
painted
the
he
musket
just
ball?
painted a little V on each of them.
Do you know what happens if the musket ball is just a fraction of a millimeter too big for the barrel? Just leave that with me.
Yes, I do.
So as you pull the trigger and this musket ball flies out of the end of your barrel, it is completely unaffecting this creature, and it flies right up towards you, Ben. Please take level 2 harm, panicked. As this apparition sort of merges itself with you, and you feel this overwhelming sense of dread.
At this point, I will use my whisper power to compel it to leave his body permanently. Never besmirch my room again. Leave, spirit.
Cool. You'll have to attune to them in order to
Yep,
try and
happily to attempt it. I think what's the thing you can do where you can add an extra dice, but you have to take a stress.
You can push yourself to take 2
Yeah,
stress.
I'll take a stress to push myself.
It's 2 stress.
2 stress.
by the way.
Thank
2
you.
stress, yeah.
2 stress to push myself and make the attune roll. 3 dice, please.
I think the flickering torch is going to be using a different dice bot from now on because this one has consistently fucked me.
If you
Well,
could,
it's probably not right for uninformed RPG.
yeah, if you could roll for me 3 dice, I'd be happy with that.
So as this ghostly apparition sort of enters into this is going to sound dodgy. It enters into Aldrich. You feel it exploring. No, I'm going to stop now.
It's not
Aldrich's got a massive pride. I'm sure it'll be happy.
You feel this sense of dread. You start to shake uncontrollably. Like
I thought
actually,
this might be the
yeah,
case.
face goes white, and then Silas just steps in. He just places a hand on your shoulder, and you all of a sudden start to feel better. And the others will see this apparition just sort of protrudes back out, and it will run back. The other apparitions, seeing this happen, will all sort of retreat slightly, not much, but slightly.
We
Sort of
might
will.
want to think about getting the hell out of here, boss.
Aldrich like turns, vomits a little bit, turns to Silas and goes, "If I don't make it back to that city, Silas, promise me this." And he
You are
leans in
still
real
feeling
tight.
that heat from your Spirit Bane charms, despite the fact that they have sort of moved back slightly.
Some kind of cradle him. You know when you've got a dying colleague, you cradle him I'll cradle him while he tells me.
Promise me this, Silas. That fucking runesmith in the night market. Skin
I
that
put a finger
fuck
over his
alive.
mouth. Not saying more of it.
Skin that fuck alive.
Don't worry. Leave it with me.
Yeah, Aldrich like throws away all of the spirit bane charmed bullets, and like just tosses his rifle on the ground. Just like takes out his spirit bane charm, and then he's just holding it. He's like, "All right, you fuckers, maybe that didn't work, but this will."
So you now feel the same feeling. It's a burning.
Seeing him get
I'm
possessed, I
holding
take out my spirit bane charm as well.
Right. It is like you can sense like these spirits now, like before they had a target that they knew they could fear. Now they feel like they can't, and they are they are absolutely going around and wailing around. They go from where they are and they start moving. You hear the sound of them
Spirit bottle.
crashing into, like they're interacting with this world now because of the emotion, and you can hear crashing.
Spirit bottle.
Properties.
The lid on the spirit bottle ready in case. I think we need to get out of here, boss. There's no point hanging around. I mean, I know you want extra money, but we need to get going.
Again, this horrible burning feeling is still there. Go on.
While this is going on, so steps back into the house. I'm going to run jog through the house to find the back door and look out of the back door, Shaun of the Dead style, see whether they are all the ghosts or not.
It is the same scene you have out the front. This place was surrounded, and you can sense there.
Jordan, can I ask you a question?
Okay.
Mate.
So if I take Rage Essence, can I give myself a purpose? So can I make it so I need to get back to the train as my before I take it, and that it basically becomes my one purpose until this wears off?
Yes, I will allow that. However, you remember the consequences that come with Rage Essence Vial.
So it's like I can't tell friend from foe, and I don't stop till everybody.
Don't stop till they're all dead is technically it, but don't stop till it's done. I'll accept.
Yeah. So, boss, you see me looking at this bottle,
Take it.
Give me the bag.
I have a question.
Take
Go
it.
on.
Are all ghosts human?
Yes.
So no horse ghosts at all.
No horse ghosts.
No horse ghosts exist. I can't ghost echo as a horse ghost right now.
Not right now.
What?
Well, no. But I was going to set up a flashback of 3 streets over. We'd seen
Ghost horse whisperer.
No. Right. So because we've got ghost echoes, we can see parts of the city that were ghostly, right?
Yeah. Again,
Well, I wanted to flash back to 3 streets over as we were scoping through. So not in our immediate area, but something we could get to. We'd seen a ghostly horse and carriage, without a rider, but all the horses were ghost boys.
tell you what, Ben, take 2 stress for me.
I'll take 2 stress for you.
And yet you remember that you've seen exactly that.
What advantage does that give us?
Well,
You
it'll
can
take
enjoy
us
it.
3 hours, mate.
For someone who still hasn't read the whole book or any of it.
So you have an ability called Ghost Echoes, which basically means that as a party you can see and interact with the ghost field.
So we can ride the ghosty boy horses.
You can ride the ghosty boy horses.
Oh, cool.
It's a carriage, but yes.
The ghost
So
carriage.
again, we'll flash
Ghost
back
with
to
the-
this present, and it's almost like there is. Imagine a hurricane, but more of arcane energy that tends to have been.
Boss, give me the bag. I can run it to. I'm still looking at this vial, ready to fucking pounce.
You remember the spooky boy horses?
the spooky boy horses? What?
3 streets away. You remember? We saw the horse and carriage, and we were all like, "Oh, that's fucked."
We need to get over there fast. Let's go.
I need you to punch us a hole 3 streets down so we can get on that carriage and get the fuck out of here.
So what you will know is so we'll say that, you remember, you all have seen the tale of Hot Fuzz, where they have the fences,
The
right?
tale of Hot Fuzz.
Well, everybody remembers that famous tale of
That classic folk tale, Hot
Yes.
Fuzz.
You remember that bit? You remember that bit where they had to get
For the greater good.
the series of fences? So
Hey,
basically,
have you never taken a shortcut before?
bypass. You don't have to go out of this street, which is currently. There is a way you can get through a sort of. Again, it's a fence. It's a barricade.
I'm going to signal for them to get back, and instead of going all the way back to the train on this stuff, I'm going to try and punch a hole. I'm like, stay about 10 feet behind me, okay? And I basically brush off this bottle of like almost like a large bottom beaker that just says that's just in Scovlander, but then in Akron on the other side just says dangerous, do not exceed limit, and I just take my rage vial essence. So what are the? Is they're both twos, aren't they? They're both 2 harms.
So there are 2 consequences to Rage Essence Vial. One of which you can resist them as normal. So when you resist, you take stress, and then you roll your attribute rating to prevent that. So you would be resisting prowess because it's a physical reaction.
So that's 2d6s.
You would roll. So no. So if you've got an attribute rating of 2 in prowess, so the first consequence you were resisting is can't tell friend from foe.
Okay.
You take 6.
It's important
you
to
roll
get
your 2d6, and then you reduce that. So you will take a number of stress basically, but the roll will reduce that.
Okay.
Take 6 stress and roll your 2d6.
6 stress.
Excellent. So you take 6 stress, and then you lose it instantly from your roll.
I was going to say because I would have just fucked off. Like I would have lost.
And then you've got it. So you now can tell you've got this. You take this vial. You've got this rage, like this burn to achieve. Like so, you look around and momentarily. You just see targets, things you need to attack, and then after a couple of seconds, you realise that they are your friends, but then you still have this consequence, which is you will not stop until this is done. And what do you do then?
Well, I will just plow through, like, because I know the job is to get to the horses, right? That's my aim. So once that is done, I'll stop, won't I?
Yeah. So that's song going through my head.
Yeah. So I'm like, and I just start like plowing through.
Roll, but this will be great effect.
I would like to push myself because I'm.
Push yourself for an extra dice.
So that's 2d6 for red.
This is a little bargain for you. You will as well. You can also. I will allow you to accept this also if you want. You will get through this. If you roll and get through these barricades, but your fists, you will break the bones in your hands, and you won't be able to use items for the rest of the score.
Sacrifice well paid.
You better fucking fix me up, you cunts.
level 2.
We have duct tape. It's fine.
We can. It's just like
Level
Rocky when he's punching the meat. Don't worry about it. We'll just take it.
If you're accepting that, then that's the harm you'll take.
So, but that makes it so is the -1 dice after I've done this because
so every action you take after this particular roll.
Let's go. Fucking yes, boys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, so you sort of again you've got this sort of stupor. You recognise your friends. You turn to where you know this carriage is located, and you just like absolutely. And the rest of you follow him, I assume.
Yeah. As close as possible, hoping he doesn't turn around and start punching us.
Right. So eventually, you make
pretty much
this spiritual apparition of a carriage, and you at that point, Orlan, your rage essence ends. You've exhausted yourself, and you drop.
Don't punch the horses! Don't punch the horses!
You drop to the ground, just shake your fists, sort of bloodied. This is now sore for you.
As he starts to jump, because we're all running behind him, as he starts to drop to the ground, Aldrich grabs him by the scruff of his scruffy scrap jacket, heaves him back up towards the carriage, and then climbs up the carriage after him, waits for everyone to get on, and then whips the horses.
Right. You all get on this carriage, and you being being skilled in the art of ropes. Normally, you only tie knots in them, but this you understand what this does, and you whip the horses, and it sends this carriage hurtling off.
Can it be more?
Leaving this property with these swirling apparitions after
my Russian friend.
Eventually, after a while,
go blind with those hands.
After a while, the sensation you feel in your charms subsides. And it goes back. You can still feel it. You can still feel the presence around you of these spirits that are being repelled, but it's no longer painful. There's obviously not an overwhelming presence. Eventually, you do make it back to the train.
We know his hands are broken now, right?
Yeah, therefore.
Yeah, my
I
hands are like
fish out of my rucksack a fine bottle of whiskey, pop the cork on, take a big old glug, and then like throw it at him. Take this, it relieves the pain.
You can hold it.
Cool.
How much time do we have left? I'm guessing we're not going shopping like we planned.
So you are heading back to the train, I assume.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
asking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we definitely heading back to the train? Yeah.
Once we
There's
get on
no
the
way we
train,
can get through.
Okay.
You head back to the train.
Is it still there?
You do make it back within the allotted time. You've knocked an hour off your journey from the carriage.
Okay,
You do
cool.
make it back in time. Sort of. You
I'll
stop.
dive under the train when we get there and restore the part that I stole. that was what I was setting up.
Right. I like
It would
it.
be some sort of actuator lever linkage, two cotter pins, cotter pins and pins and a rod. So that was the plan was to flash back, sneak back, and go and steal a bit so that it couldn't go anywhere. Like maybe the brake release lever or the one that lets the steam rise or whatever. I don't know if that's a valve or a spin valve or whatever. But something important.
Once we get
Just give me a quick tinker roll. Sorry, Ben.
It's the fact that he can't put it back now. It's the fact he can't put it back.
I'll just say it's fairly simple because I'm imagining it's like a rod with.
It's a risky position. It's great effect. Yeah, it's not going to be
two
massive amounts of failure.
Got 3 ones as
3 and a 1.
So you return the component that you stole before, which I guess it was something from underneath one of the carriages. However, it takes you a little while to fiddle with. Eventually, by the time you can eventually hear the other scavengers returning, and
I may not be doing it subtly on the way back. We're in a rush.
No, it's not a perfect fix by any stretch of the imagination.
I know his hands are broken. I mean, every bone in his hand is broken. So I'm just going to put whatever wood we've got to hand, some splints, just so that his hands are yes. Yeah. And tape them up as best as we can. And,
So as you see, you all sort of stand by the train car, and you see Cassandra and her 2 friends from earlier returning. The Skovlan sees Orlan and instantly just runs in. He's running in to help you. He has respect for this. He doesn't know what's happened, but and Cassandra sort of watches her friend go. She looks at you and she goes, "Well, I never thought you'd make it, you know."
Aldrich has now gone. So the ghost horses on the carriage. So all ghosts have unfinished business, essentially. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go on then. I'll go with that.
What he does is he takes the bridle and the saddle and stuff off, and lets the horses go free into the Badlands. Hopefully, their unfinished business is.
They go off. I mean, Cassandra looks at you like to her, you're hitting the air. You're playing the drums with knives in the air, and then you're waving your arm. So she's a bit like, "It's got to your head, son. Let's get you back."
I'm freeing the horses.
She's like,
fucking hands.
At you like, she looked at all of you and just like, she takes a bottle of whiskey out of her bag and fucking dogs.
I know she's like, look, I imagine the train can probably confirm what they saw of us thundering down the street a few feet off the, not running but going faster than a run. Maybe. Just saying.
So yeah, you eventually everyone returns. You all get back on the train. You can get up onto it, obviously, and eventually after a while it starts to move back towards the city.
I'm not saying your hands are going to heal in the next few weeks, but that's as good as we can do.
I'm sat next to you with the bottle of whiskey, and I keep taking a glug and then like feeding you a glug, and then I'm like, I'm not saying your hands are going to heal. Take another big swig.
So, we will head back into Dusk Bowl, and we will end our score there.
Excellent.
Literally, there better be a finder's fee for this, Ben, or we've.
Yeah, this is a very unprofitable mission.
So what? No. So if you remember, the ghost is going to get us the location of a rather large diamond for us to pilfer.
I have 2 broken fucking hands and
Yeah.
5 stress.
It's a
But
big
you
guy.
can still pick up litter from the local park with spikes on them. They're fine. Don't worry about it.
Rewind this a little bit, guys, because I know we're a bit short on time. So, what I'll say for you for that score is you'll just earn 2 reputation. Unfortunately, you didn't gain much of a reputation from this because you were outside of Duskfold, so there wasn't really that many people you could. You've gained a bit of favor with the scavengers, but you've also gained 2 reputation as a whole.
Pretty good.
And then payoff. So you've got the item of the tiara that was in the box in the mattress.
Have we gained any favour with the ghosts of Duskroll? The community of ghosts.
Probably a
Probably
minus.
not.
How many
Punch the
judge?
Okay, we'll find out then.
Yeah, that's probably a minus if I'm any judge.
I mean,
Let's say
we're
we'll find out.
punching a hole through them. It doesn't sound like we're going.
We
Well-
helped. No. I'm not saying the ghosts of the outsidey ghosts. I'm saying the insidey ghosts. We helped one of them.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Yeah, I like your thinking.
We helped one of their dead bros.
Look at my hands.
Cool. So we'll say that this item that was recovered from the bed, this box with the tiara in it, and then this was an item that was the family heirloom that was returned. You take it down to the young Mortensen girl. She accepts it with favour. She sort of studies it briefly. She's sort of like, yes, I've heard that this was something that I never thought I'd see it ever. I don't think I've ever seen this. Thank you.
Well, your old man wanted us to get that for you.
Yes, he did.
We also found some other items, didn't we, Aldrich? Like my bandaged up hands.
Yeah, I fish out the tiara and the 2 daggers as well. I'm like, yeah, no, we did, yeah.
Tiara,
No,
guys, in the box, the tiara is what she's holding.
Oh, okay. Well, what about the necklace,
No,
the fancy one?
yeah, the necklace. Yeah, that's what we. I'm like,
She sort of looks at you as you present these 2, and she goes, "What are these?"
Conditions.
I'm assuming you found those. I don't really know what use they'd be to me.
Well, we
Then-
want to honour the bargain we've given. However,
This is more
if you
than
think
enough.
it's fair compensation for my friend's hands, we take it.
This is more than enough. I appreciate this. She sort of cradles the box to her chest. Now, if you're
Excellent.
hungry- no offense, but you
We've done enough. I understand where you're coming from. Quick, get the stuff and go.
she sort of looks down at, like, you're a bit, let's be honest, guys, you're a bit muddy. You
Yeah.
don't really smell great. And she looks down at the floor. You're leaving a bit of a trail. She's sort of like, can you guys kindly leave?
Absolutely.
Only if you can tell us a bit more about these items. The ghosts didn't seem to want them to leave.
As I said, I've never seen. What do you? This is our family heirloom. You can see. So she shows you the box again, and looking at it now, you can sort of see that there is a difference. You see, I described the item before as having like a family crest, the sort of necklace that was hanging in the safe with the 2 daggers. But looking at it now and looking at the box that she's got, there's sort of, if you open the lid, there's a crest on the inside of it. They don't match.
Oh, so these are from something else.
So she sort of looks at you again like, you obviously just found, I'm sure you just found those. I don't care where, just...
You don't have to tell me. Look, a gift horse in the mouth. Twice,
Gift
love.
ghost horse in the mouth, boss.
I give ghost horse in the bloody excellent. You know what, love? We'll fuck off. You enjoy your evening.
Just one final tiny little thing. You did say we had a kind of a musky odour. I am right in thinking that, right?
I would really like to go and see to my hands now.
Yeah, that's
Silas.
fine. Because
You know
you're
what?
right. You're
You know
right.
what,
You're
boys? I'm actually sick and tired of you being around here now. She sort of pulls out a drawer. She
Lovely.
takes a big old bag of silver and she throws it at your feet, Aldrich. Will you just kindly fuck off?
I
Yes,
will
we-
do that, ma'am. Thank you. Let's come on,
Thank
boys.
you, Mom. Thank you, Mom. I say to as we leave, that means that you, my Russian friend, that means your odour is brute.
Oh, she slams the door behind you.
How very polite.
Just again, apologies. We won't role play this tonight, but we'll very quickly do downtime. So I'll go around the room. So Orlan, your 2 downtime actions. What would you like to do?
Is healing a downtime action?
Healing is a downtime action.
Can I heal?
Yes, you
Fine.
may.
You have
So
to
you
do it.
roll prowess. Roll your prowess attribute.
Okay, so that's
And I'll
2.
tell you what you heal. So
You
you've got a
might
little clock. You should have a little clock
Yeah.
on your character sheet, 4-piece clock.
Yeah, I can see that.
Clock, so you fill that. So I'll tell you how many ticks you fill by healing.
Oh.
Mm,
A 3 and a 2, DM.
cool. Yep. So surprising it doesn't say. So we'll say that fills up two of the ticks.
I would have to spend all my downtime healing because I need
You're
to.
gonna
fucking
have
fix
to,
my
yeah.
hand. Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna have to. Broken hands.
Yeah. Like so, I'll do it again. 2d6. That's a 4 and a 5, DM.
Cool. So we'll say that fills 3. So you can have full clock plus 1. So you can have another one already filled for later.
And that just gets rid of broken hands, doesn't it? And
So
slash cheek.
all of your harm is reduced by 1. So any level 1 harm is gone, and level 2 harm goes down to level 1. So we'll say that
sore hands.
Yeah, well, the broken hands becomes sore hands eventually. So quickly, James,
Come up.
do you like to do downtime?
Yeah, man. Project, of course.
Oh yeah, you're going to do your long-term project twice, are you?
Yeah.
Cool.
Because I don't think I need to reduce heat this time around, funnily enough.
Yes.
Remind me on the roll for this one.
Yeah, because that was something I missed off. Because this was outside of the city, you didn't gain any heat with any of the factions within the city.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
maybe
remind-
because Duskfall, but they're not a faction, unfortunately. Fuck you, game.
Remind me what I'm rolling for my.
So this first part of your long-term project is study. So I believe you said you're trying to invent a
gun that goes bang more than once without having to reload.
You've got your 2 clocks on your character sheet.
Yeah, I've got clocks. That's fine. It's just I
Yeah.
can't remember what you want to roll. And it's
Yeah, so the first one is study. So you're in the library. You're trying to study this particular blueprints. You're trying to get together some information about the.
Nice. That's a
So-
5, boys.
not so much blueprints, but perhaps more books of mechanisms and
Yeah.
mechanical engineering principles.
That will be 2 ticks on your study clock.
Sweet. Find the right other tab. Cool. And you know what? I'm going to do it again.
You can do it again. 4. That's another 2 ticks.
Booyah! So that's a full clock.
Right. So what you will say is you come out of the library following your downtime with this completed blueprint. You've intricately studied various things. You sort of come out of the university library. You've probably had a bit of help from some university librarians and some lecturers, and you've basically come out with what design.
Mechanical engineering students.
You know what you need to do now to make this thing happen.
Okay, cool.
Ben, what would you like to do for downtime?
Number 1, I'm gonna go to my vice.
Cool. You're going to
What
reduce
roll
some
for
stress.
that again.
So your attribute rating, your lowest attribute rating.
2. Cool.
Excuse me for just a second.
I got a 2 and a 1.
So you reduce 2 stress.
Fucking piece of shit. Right. This dice bot hates me. And then for my second one, I would like to do the Inebriate's first initiation ritual.
Oh, what? Describe briefly the initiati ritual.
The Inebriate's initiation ritual is you have to find someone who is to do with the occult and who has seemingly wronged a member of the Inebriate and drown them in a barrel of ale. So we're gonna go find the motherfucking rune seller who fucking sold me these shoddy runes, and me and a bunch of my fancy lad friends are gonna go drown him in a barrel of ale.
So
I'll join you on that one just because it's funny.
So that I'll ask you to roll consort. You're trying to consort with them. You hype them up, and we'll see how successful you are.
Can we aid in downtime activities?
Answer: does he die or does he not die?
Can I join you for the theatric?
You can be
No,
there.
this is so
We're
hush hush.
killing
This
them.
is like only people I'm trying to get in the cult.
Go on.
A 6.
I'd
dead.
still nice.
You find him. You take him outside. You drown him in a barrel. He's dead.
How many
Oh,
towards my
Thank you so much for killing that interesting future opportunity for me.
He fucked me. Don't
And
you ever
finally,
fuck me.
Sean,
How
what are
many
your
ticks
two-
on the inebriati is there?
3.
3. Nice. We did commit a murder. I think that's
Sean, what are your 2 downtime actions?
To relieve some stress, so I go off to the same place he goes to start, as always, to go and have a few drinks. So drink myself into a bit of a stupor. The second activity, we're working on the long-term project where we already previously started a couple of sessions back. So why
Cool.
would you
I
roll?
can't quite hear you very well,
I
Sean.
was going to say, Sean sounded like he was in a sock to me. Did that same for everybody else?
What do you need to roll for the long-term?
That's better.
So what? So we'll do your vice first. Sorry, Sean. What's your lowest attribute rating?
Lowest is a 1.
Okay, I'll roll the 1d6 for you. We'll
Thank you.
see what you get. Please type good in the dice pot, Jordan. 3. You clear 3 stress.
That's fine. I'm clear of stress now.
And what was your long-term project again? Remind me.
I'm working on the boat. Obviously, it's got issues, as you know. We did the blueprint the first time round. Now we're going to try and fix some bits. So we're going to start with the issue that every few days we have to bail it out. Let's try and fix that.
Cool. So you again, have you got anything in Tinker?
No.
How would you be doing it then?
Yeah, very unscientifically. Some wood, some nails, a hammer. This bit looks like looks like it's got a hole in it.
What
Very
skill would you
unscientific.
be using? Would you say?
I don't know. What's fair? What's the fairest thing? Not sure actually. What's the fairest?
How many would you
Tinker?
describe to me if you would use, or just say if you're doing it, that would probably be finessing. So
Without knowledge, without knowledge, wouldn't it be right?
Yeah, I haven't got any skill in finesse. It's just a one die roll. It's just a hit and hope with a hammer. That's what I'm doing.
It's
Yeah,
2
this will
die
fix it.
rolls, and you take the lowest.
so it's 3. So tick 2 ticks on your.
See, it's working.
So with that, so we'll pick,
I'm literally watching in a hammock with my hands bandaged up.
so
See?
we'll pick back up with the party
Getting better your hands look much
in
better.
the boat as Silas is getting the grips, getting his sea legs, if you will. He's getting down and he's got his hammer and his wood. He's trying to shore up some of the holes, and you're all sort of there watching him. And then from the doorway,
Really banging the nails in. Pride before a fall. Pride before a fall.
from the doorway, you see the familiar figure of Mr. Marston. I thank you, my friends, for assisting me in my little endeavor. And you know what?
His fingers are broken. That's why he can only do the numbers.
Excuse me, but your friends, that was quite rude.
He
He can
can't
only
help.
use them fingers, mate. He
He-
broke
he's
his
got
hands real
no-
bad.
His hands. His
But
hands.
what I will say is, I am good on my word. You did this thing for me, and I promised that I would find out the location of your elusive diamond, child. I do happen to know that there is a certain exhibition happening soon. And I also happen to know somebody who may be able to help you. He gestures, sort of moves away, and you see standing in the doorway of the boat a sort of short, slight-looking woman in her late 20s. She's got blonde hair, and she's got green eyes. She's standing there looking at you.
I
And
turn to my friends and I just go, Diamond heist? Diamond heist? Diamond heist?
And she sort of, like, Morrison sort of
Who's she first?
looked at her, and he's like, sorry, miss, I forget how it is that you know them. And the woman sort of reaches inside her coat, pulls out some folded pieces of paper, sort of hands them over to you, Aldrich. She hands them out to you. Yep.
So you can't hand them to our other friend.
So, do you open them and read them?
Yeah.
Cool. So you open those letters, because that's what they are. They are letters.
One moment, we are on a boat. I will remember this young lady. Admiralty
They are
Law.
letters of quite romantic nature.
Oh,
And at
that's
the bottom of
different.
each
Carry on.
one, you see the name, Aldrich Booker. And that's where we'll end it for the week, guys.
Oh, God
how
damn
much
it.
coin did we? Oh, I wanted to ask
We
you
didn't
about
get-
these fucking
We'll
necklaces.
figure it out next week, guys. I think we're running a bit late, so we need to do all our plugs and stuff. So we'll figure out how much we actually earn next week, if that's okay with everyone.
Fine.
Can we come back to talking to Morriston about the necklace and
We'll
the
pick
knives?
that up exactly where we left it off next week. Don't worry, guys. And next week also, I'll say this quickly, we will be having a guest appearance.
Oh no, not as my love letter recipient. Oh no.
Next week, guys.
Oh.
I can feel your pride's going to get stamped on shortly, I think.
Right.
His pride is
So,
diminishing as we speak.
Jordan, thank you as ever for GMing our wonderful Blades of the Dark Red Herrings session. What do you want to plug, my friend? Do your plugs.
Well, this week I will be plugging my new YouTube channel, which is called Uninformed RPG on YouTube. It's been a bit of a slow starter. Work has been pretty mental for me these last few weeks, but I'm hoping that next week I'll have a lot more time to work on it and I will have some videos. It's basically my channel where I share my tips as someone who's not newer to this hobby, my tips for people who want to join and get involved and have this much fun on the Monday night, because goddamn, I love this game.
Devil's bargain, Jordan. Right? You either release a video by the new year, or, right, you have to do you have to paint on a curly mustache for the next game and just have that on the whole time. That's your devil's bargain.
So, yeah, let's
Needs a clarification before you say yes. Is that every session until next block has ended, or is that just for one session?
Every session, the old devil's bargain, either you release a video by the new year, or you have to wear a fake curly mustache for the next 5 games. 6 games.
I'll let you know if I accept your devil's bargain. Onto you guys. Thank you again. This is really fun. I really enjoy doing these. Thank you guys for playing this, and it's a lot of
Thank
fun.
you for running it.
We will go to our easiest plug. James, please plug the one thing.
Yep. I'm gonna plug the sink. It's leaking. Excuse me.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Right. He's lost all other credibility now. That's it. That was the worst joke he's done.
Could also plug the room too.
Sean, the outsider, please plug anything you want to plug, my friend.
Pride. Should always plug pride. Pride is very important in RPGs, as you know. No, seriously. Let's get behind Jordan's new channel. In fact, actually, if Jordan makes a promise here, I'll help him massively. Get me on one show. Just do something where you've got to bring me into it for you, for the benefit of you, and I will bring over some subscribers to your channel. I guarantee you 50 new subscribers. How does that sound? For your
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Whoa. Can I have that bargain? I wouldn't mind.
Been on?
I wouldn't mind
Really?
50 new subscribers.
You've been on a fucking podcast.
I want to help him out. He's a new.
Go on, Addison.
I want to help him as much as I can. If you would like some subscribers, then I'll make the same bargains with you.
I would
Look,
also like
already
some
been kind enough to
subscribers.
help us, but I think it's time I start calling in some favours, and I'm going to start helping your channels grow a little bit. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start with Jordan's. We're going to help him grow.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Because
that.
you're new to
His
RPG.
baby
I think
brother.
your
His baby
perspective will be very, very valuable, and there are a lot of people I think would like the fact that you're a new channel and a new GM. So let's help you grow. So get us on in any way you want to do, whatever you want to talk about, that's fine. And maybe you want me to interview you, then I'm happy to do that for you.
So let's look at it.
Okay,
great.
and then our final plug. Down there, Mr. Addison, please plug anything you would like to plug.
So, the Pod of Many Things returns this week talking about Mecha Hack, the Black Hack module for anybody who wishes to unleash their inner Gundam fighter with Matt Click, the designer. So Ben put us onto this lead. It's such a good system, and I can't wait to talk about it. Also, going to plug the Loom Discord server and the Loom Christmas party that we are going to be throwing either Friday or Saturday. That's going to be confirmed
Cough,
tomorrow.
cough. Multi-day event. Cough, cough.
Let's just get wrecked.
And we're
Holidays.
just gonna have fun, get wrecked, talk to each other, play games, in like fun little party games, and just have a good time. So yeah.
I'm going to wreck like Orland trying to get to a ghost carriage.
Oh Jesus Christ! I've got bandaged hands as my level 1 harm. Like I now can't use items half sharp. Oh fuck.
So, my final plugs either A, follow me on the old YouTubes, on the Flickering Torch YouTube channel, or if you're already there and subscribed, and you should be subscribed, then follow me over on twitch.tv/theflickeringtorch. You can also find me on my Twitter account, @flickeringtorch, and you can watch Blades in the Dark Red Herrings every Monday night at 7:30 British Standard Time here on twitch.tv/theflickeringtorch, or a few hours later, the video on demand is available on YouTube. That has the whole playlist, so you can watch all of the episodes of this great show. Thank you for viewing and watching and subscribing and following me on Twitter and following all these guys on the socials. We will catch you next time. See you later. Say bye, everyone.
Later, guys.
Bye. Peace out.